Hi guys, welcome to Adore Beauty's YouTube channel. My name is Chloe, and over the last fortnight, I've tried out 4 different long wear foundations. My skin is combo to oily, so keep that in mind when watching this review. My first foundation I tried was the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It is an OG. I feel like so many makeup artists have this one in their kit. So this is $65 for a 30ml bottle. It doesn't come with a pump, but you can purchase one separately for $14. It comes in over 55 shades and it's meant to be more medium to fuller coverage, so great for events. So I actually wore this foundation from 8:20 a.m. until 2:40 a.m.
Whoa.
I know. And it lasted really well. I am very impressed with this product. Oil control was good. I actually have it on today because I loved it so much. It is currently 7:42 in the morning. Here she is, the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have the shade 3 and 2 Wheat. I'm going to prep my skin using the Aspect Envirostat face, this one here. And I'm also using the IT Cosmetics primer. This one is oil-free. I like it because it's hydrating and it doesn't make my skin look too wet. I'll be applying it with the Spectrum Big 01 brush. I think this is the perfect density for my foundation application. Oh, right off the bat, this coverage is a lot fuller than I'm used to. I think it has a very skin-like finish. Upon closer inspection, I do still see my skin underneath, which is something I really like. Here is the final product. It's sitting really well on the skin, works well with the rest of my makeup. I'm going to get started on my day and I'll check back in with you guys later. It's 2:45. I do feel like it is just a touch shinier than it was in the morning, but keep in mind I did go on a super sweaty walk. I just finished up with clients, so I wore a mask. I smile and I laugh a lot, so I have a little bit of cracking through here, but I'm not mad about it. I think it's holding up very well. Before I go out, I'm going to blend away some creases and maybe mattify my face a bit more. I don't want to add on extra product because we are testing out the longevity, but I'm going to do a bit more blendy. It is now 2:44 in the morning. It held up so well. I just have the smile lines and my nose has been very leaky, you know, spring hay fever season. So there's a bit of makeup that's rubbed off. Other than that, this foundation stayed on great. Thank you, Estee Lauder. Up next is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is the reformulated version of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, which is one of my first foundations. I stole it from my mum and I used it throughout my teens, really. When they first reformulated this, I was in love with it. I used it all the time. My shade was 2Y32. Melbourne has not seen the sun, so I am not this shade anymore, and you'll see that in the video. This is $66 for a 30ml bottle and it comes with a pump. There's about 40 shades. I'd say that this one is a light buildable to medium coverage. The finish with this one is absolutely beautiful. It's so skin-like. It's like I put a moisturizer over my face. So I wore that foundation from 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. I went to dancing. I had 2 sessions and my dancing sessions are always sweaty. So if you're looking for like a dewy, more natural finish foundation that's long lasting, I would recommend the Makeup Forever HD Skin. I'm hoping to go on a walk today. It's 28 degrees outside. I'm going to be a sweaty Betty and I have 2 dancing classes. Here is the first layer. I don't remember this shade being this orange. And we have completed the look. Just to reiterate, I've powdered my skin. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I did. I'll check in later in the afternoon. It is now about 6:30. So I've been wearing this foundation for just over 8 hours. As you can see, it's just a touch shiny at the moment. My forehead is like a light bulb. Look at that. The rest of my foundation stayed on really well. I want to say I actually really like this foundation when it's like at around the 4-hour mark. The way it melts into the skin, it's just natural, it's flawless, it's beautiful. It is 11 o'clock and I just got home from dancing. I'm so sorry for this disgusting t-shirt. The foundation stayed on really well. Again, I feel like my nose has disappeared, but that's whatever. There's just a bit of texture coming through this area here. I'm quite impressed with the longevity of the foundation. I didn't expect this. And a bit of my chin has rubbed off too. Okay, makeup forever. So the next foundation I tried was the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is another OG, another staple in so many MUA's kits. I use this throughout my teens as well because I was an oily gal and I love that full coverage. It does kind of have like this paint scent. Unpopular opinion, but I actually really like that scent. This is $57 for a 30ml bottle. Again, it does not come with a pump, but you can purchase one separately for $13. The MAC Studio Fix Fluid comes in over 66 shades. I counted them myself. I know! It's a good time. The finish of the Studio Fix Fluid is more of a matte finish, medium to full coverage. The oil control with this one is okay. I feel like the Estee Lauder actually did a bit better with oil control and found that it did cling on to some texture, which is a rude awakening because I didn't even know I had texture until this video. Yeah, but not that much. I was like, what the heck? Here is the foundation with no extra products. I noticed that it feels a bit heavier on my skin. I think it's a skin-like finish. I expected something a bit more MAC. I feel like you can still see my freckles through it. So I've just completed the rest of my makeup. I think this is more of a fuller coverage than I'm used to. I don't know, it just feels heavier on the skin is what I'm trying to say. Looking at myself on the phone, I do think that this records and takes photos beautifully. I'd be more comfortable wearing it to an event like a wedding or an evening event. During the day, this feels like a bit much on my face. I actually found it quite hard to blend because it is a thicker foundation. I think I kept finding brush strokes on my face, so I had to keep working a bit harder to buff them out. Could have been easily solved with the sponge, but I didn't do that. I quite like the outcome. It looks gorgeous on the camera, I'd say. So I've been wearing it for a bit longer than 4 hours. So I'm in the shade NC27. I do think it's a really good shade match for me. Around here, I think it's creasing quite a bit. I'm seeing texture. I'm seeing a bit of creasing. It's 10:20, so it's been on for 12 hours now. And it looks pretty good. As expected, the Studio Fix Fluid stayed on very well. I feel like my ring light makes my forehead look oilier than it is, but I promise you it's not this shiny in person. I think longevity, it stayed on very well. I got complimented today, which was really nice. So the lucky last foundation is the Maybelline Super Stay Active Wear 30-hour full coverage foundation. This one is $26.95 for 30ml and it comes in 21 shades. This one is a full coverage foundation. I actually really wanted to like this foundation because I love Maybelline and they've never let me down before, but I found this foundation to be very matte. So if you have really oily skin or if you really like that matte finish, I think this one would be the one for you. Midday, I remember looking at my cheek and being like, wow, this looks so cute. Everything just looks smooth. And then when I finished dancing, it was like, oh, it's clinging on to something. This one says it stays on for 30 hours, which is absolutely ridiculous. I will not be wearing this for 30 hours. I have the shade 36 Warm Sun. Here is the foundation by itself on my skin. I found it a bit hard to blend out. I would say it's a matte finish. My lighting just makes it look dewy, but if I step outside, if you see me without the light, it looks quite matte. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I feel like this foundation is clinging onto texture on my skin that I didn't even know I had. like just around here. I don't know if you can see it. It's currently 6 o'clock and I feel like this one has set into my skin really nicely. I was freaked out in the morning because it was a bit more matte than I'm used to. Now it's very skin-like, which means I don't think it held the matte that well. My ring light kind of enhances the oiliness. It doesn't look this shiny in person. My hay fever hasn't been that bad, so my nose area is okay. Still got a bit on my chin. I took a nap before the side of my faces. I'm still okay. There's no transfer in my pillows, so I guess that's good news. I'm back from my dancing classes and am incredibly tired. I've noticed texture here, just texture showing through here. My chin's looking good. Forehead's not too shiny, melted into my skin. Maybelline is a very affordable brand, so the fact that this foundation is so solid is a very good time. So my favorite out of the bunch, no other than the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I love the way it blended out. I love the way it sat on my skin, the way it looks on my skin, just everything about it. One that really surprised me was the Makeup Forever HD Skin. I was surprised at how long wearing it was. For a dewy foundation, it's very long wearing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little road test. Let me know which one you think lasted better on my skin or which one looked better on my skin. Click here if you want to see more videos from us, and I'll see you later.